I hope you have your writing materials ready to go. You've got your writer's notebook, you've got a pencil, you've got your folder or envelope for keeping your 3 white envelopes inside of. We're going to review what we did last time, and then we're going to try another way to show how we collect evidence to prove that our thesis statement is true. Let's review. The first way we said we prove is we make a list of all the ways that their thesis statement is true. It's true this way, and because of this, and because of that, and because of this. If you remember, we made a list of all the ways that things are true. Making that list just keeps pounding the point home over and over again. The one we're doing today, writers tell mini stories to prove their thesis statement is true. The other two we learned about, that we will learn about tomorrow. Okay, writers, I hope you have your materials out and ready to go, your pencil, your writer's notebook, some sort of an envelope or folder to keep your smaller envelopes in. We are working on collecting evidence. So let's look at how writers will prove that their thesis statement is true by collecting evidence. I showed you 4 ways last week of how writers will collect evidence to prove that their thesis statement is true. Let's see if you remember these. The first one that we worked on last week was writers will make a list of all the ways their thesis statement is true. If you make that list, it's like pounding your point home. This is true because of this, and this, and this, and this, and this. And the more you add to that list, the more it's pounding your point home that I know my thesis statement is right. The one we're going to learn about today is writers tell mini stories to prove their thesis statement is true. So that's what we'll be working on today in the next couple of minutes. Third way that writers can prove that their thesis statement is true is they can take a poll to see if other people agree with their thesis statement. We'll work on that tomorrow. And then we're going to look at how many of you will need to do research to prove that your thesis statement is true. Sometimes some of you need to do research, other times it's personal experience and lists and taking a poll and you really don't need the research. But if you do, I'll show you how to go about doing that. So let's go back right up here. Writers tell mini stories to prove that their thesis statement is true. So, think about it this way. Writing a small story within your essay can often help your readers to relate what you're saying. We found this to be true so many times because readers will think, I did that too, or that happened to me too. And when they can relate to you and what you're saying, then they're more likely to agree with you with your thesis statement. So if you tell a short story that readers relate to, they will be more likely to agree with your point of view. So, can you relate? Do you understand what I'm saying? Let's try one. I'm going to try one of my own. Again, my thesis statement is, teachers aren't the only ones who help children to learn. This time I'm using envelope number 2. The reason why teachers aren't the only ones who help children to learn is because children learn important things from activities outside of school. So, I'm going to tell a mini story about how that is true. So, I wrote it up here on my paper. I'm ready to go, trying to stay ahead of it. I just rewrote it here again on the paper to remind myself that teachers aren't the only ones who help children to learn because children learn important information and things from activities outside of school. A mini story I can tell about that. Let me think of all the things that I've learned outside of school and who has helped me to do that. Well, I don't know if you know this, but I used to do gymnastics. I played in the band. I went to church. I was a Girl Scout and a Brownie. I sold Girl Scout cookies. I did softball. I played volleyball. Things I do outside of school. Right now, I still do things like that. I volunteer. So, a story that will help you to relate to me and prove that teachers aren't the only ones that help kids learn. I'm trying to think of which one of those. Oh, let's do Girl Scouts. I know Girl Scouts still sell Girl Scout cookies, and I was one of those Girl Scouts who sold Girl Scout cookies when I was your age, and I can remember my really good friend Linda. Her mom was our Girl Scout leader, and we had all put in our orders for our Girl Scout cookies, and her mom put the order into the national office. Then the cookies came to her house, and my friend Linda called me and said, "Can you come and help us?" And so I said, "Sure." And I went into their house, and she said, "We're down in the basement." And I went down in the basement, and their entire basement was filled from floor to ceiling with carton after carton after carton after carton of Girl Scout cookies. Boxes and boxes and boxes, hundreds, and I'm not kidding, hundreds of boxes that had boxes of Girl Scout cookies in them. And Linda and I made the mistake of rushing into that and just starting to open boxes and, oh, which ones are these? These are the Thin Mints, and these are the Tagalongs. And her mom came downstairs, and she said, "What are you girls doing?" And we told her we were going to start taking the cookies out and giving them to all the Girl Scouts so they can hand them out to all their customers. And she said, "No, no, 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 no. There's an easier way to do that." So if I told a story about one time my Girl Scout leader taught me how to take an order form and fill it one at a time. Well, actually what we had to do first is we had to put all the boxes of the same type of cookies in one part of the room. All the Tagalongs went here, all the Thin Mints went there. So she taught us how to fill orders. And we had so much fun doing it. So one time, I wanted to help fill Girl Scout cookie orders. Now I realize I probably should have capitalized Girl Scout because that's the name of a brand. We made a mistake, my friend and I, we made a mistake and started opening all the boxes. Our Girl Scout leader taught us how to do it correctly. All right. My thesis statement is teachers aren't the only ones who help children to learn. And I said one of the reasons was because children learn important information from activities outside of school. Does this do that? One time I wanted to help fill Girl Scout cookie orders. We made a mistake and started opening all the boxes. Our Girl Scout leader taught us how to do it correctly. It's a mini story. It's not long. Okay, that one's not very exciting. I'm not really happy with that one. I'm going to try another one, just one more, and then I want you practicing a couple today. Let me think now. Gymnastics, softball, church, Girl Scouts, volleyball. How about, oh, gymnastics. Okay, gymnastics. I love the balance beam. And I was terrified to do what they call the mount, where you get on the beam a certain way. And my coach wanted me to run from the end of the bar, jump on this pad that bounces you, and jump up onto the bar. I was terrified. And I wanted to do it, and I thought I could do it. And so she said, "Wait for me. I'll be right back, and I'll show you how." And I decided not to wait. I thought I could do this myself. And so I took a running start from across the gym, and I bounced on that thing, and I didn't bounce high enough, and I slammed my stomach right into the end of that balance beam, and it hurt so bad I couldn't breathe for a couple of minutes. I guess it's what's called getting the wind knocked out of you. Yeah, that's what happened. So that might be a more relatable story. So if I wrote a second mini story here about my balance beam, I'm not going to take the time to write it right now, but I will after we're done with our video here. I could tell that story of my balance beam experience and how I slammed into the end of it. I got to think of one more where something outside of school teaches me a lesson, that teachers aren't the only ones. How about I learn about, I'm going to do softball. I'm going to tell the story of my first time I hit a home run. Now, technically it wasn't a home run because it stayed inside the park, but it was far enough over the outfielder's head. He was out in left field, and she didn't see it coming, and so she got a late start running for it, and so I took off running, and every time I went to another base, I heard the coach say, go again, keep going, keep going. And I ended up going the whole way around the bases and scoring my first home run. And it was called an in-the-park home run, but it still counted as a home run in my book. So I thought that was pretty awesome. Now, my coach was the one that taught me how to swing the bat properly, because the week before that, I'd struck out twice. So that was a little embarrassing. So that's what I'll tell next. I'll tell my softball story. I'll tell how I struck out twice the week before and how my coach helped me with my swing, so I knew how to swing the bat properly. And I ended up hitting an in-the-park home run the next week. So I'm going to write 3 stories. Now, they're not stories like our stories at the beginning of the year. These are mini stories. You can see they're not very long. So I'm going to write a story about the balance beam. I'm going to write a short story about my softball experience so that I can prove that children learn things outside of school and teachers aren't the only ones to help children learn. Your assignment for today, I want 3 stories, 3 mini stories. Now, I'm not checking on these through Nearpod or anything today, but by the time we're done with these lessons, by the end of this week, you will have all of these, okay? And when I call you, I'm going to ask to see all of these, okay? I'm going to ask to see your envelope that has your list in it. I'm going to ask to see your envelope with your short stories. So you need to keep all of these. Like this one I did the other day. I still have it tucked in this envelope because now I've got stuff to write. So I've got that one. Now I'll take this one. I'll tear it out of my notebook. I'll put it in my envelope. Tomorrow we'll learn about how to use taking a poll to prove your thesis statement is true. And then the next day we'll talk about how many of you need to do research to make sure your thesis statement is true. I'll probably do some groups this week, calling you. So if you get an appointment for me on Teams during writing class, that means you and I, maybe 2 or 3 of your classmates, are going to meet to see how you're coming with all of these, because these all need to be done and collected and saved so that we can start putting our essays together next week. All right, so how many stories? 3. I want 3 short stories. One about a balance beam, one about softball. You pick 3 stories that you can relate, have people relate to. Okay, take them out, put them in the envelope they belong in. Okay, and tomorrow we'll continue. 3 stories. Everybody get to work.